Whether you've been to Warped Tour or not, these bands are bound to make you feel nostalgic. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we'll be counting down the top 10 pop-punk bands.
She's just the flavor of the week.
For this list, we've narrowed it down to bands that have most often been linked with the genre.
I don't wanna waste my time, become another casualty of society.
Bands that have more of an association with genres like emo, like My Chemical Romance and Jimmy Eat World, will be for another time.
It just feels so good. Wanna get into the crowd, wanna hit.
Number 10. MxPx.
We ain't got no place to go, so let us do the punk show. Darling, take me by the hand, we're gonna see it for our band.
A Washington band with Christian roots, MxPx saw a change in sound in the late 90s to meet fit with the trends of the scene.
Responsibility, what's that? Responsibility, not quite yet.
Beginning as a traditional punk band and later becoming more popular in the mainstream as a pop-punk band, MxPx saw commercial success with songs like Chick Magnet and Responsibility. Heavily influenced by skate and surf culture, these rockers have remained a pop-punk staple in both Christian and non-religious circles since the 90s. Number 9. A Day to Remember. Okay, so this one's a little more debatable, mainly because this band's style switches very often between pop-punk and metalcore. That said, the band themselves have labeled them as a pop-punk band and says they are heavily influenced by other genre innovators. Sure has paid off for them, as the band has had great success with singles charting on mainstream rock charts. Even after a messy split with the band's former label, ADTR continued to please fans, releasing Common Courtesy, which would eventually reach number 1 on the Billboard Hard Rock Albums chart. Number 8. Simple Plan.
I woke up, it was 7. I waited till 11 to figure out that no one would call.
Call their lyrical content juvenile if you want, considering the band members are now in their 30s, but these Montrealers have proven their longevity, even if they aren't as successful as back in the day.
So shut up, don't wanna hear it. Get out of my way.
Their first 2 albums, No Pads, No Helmets, Just Balls, and Still Not Getting Any, brought them huge commercial success both in Canada and the US.
To be heard, to feel lost, to be left out in the dark, to be kicked when you're down, to feel like you've been pushed around.
But the 5 are still touring and making music without any lineup changes, and are due to release their 5th album this year.
I'm just a kid and life is a nightmare. I'm just a kid, I know that it's not fair.
Number 7. Yellowcard.
There's a place off Ocean Avenue where I used to sit and talk with you.
This band from Jacksonville, Florida found international success with songs like Ocean Avenue and Lights and Sounds. Although these pop-punkers were bigger in the mid-2000s, they certainly made their mark in their genre by standing out amongst the rest. How do they stand out, you ask?
Here I am alive. They say you don't grow up, you just grow old.
The band uses traditional pop-punk instruments along with a violin in order to add a more melodic style to their music. They're still active today, as they were one of the headlining bands on last year's Vans Warped Tour. Number 6. Paramore.
No, sir. Well, I don't wanna be the blame, not anymore.
You could say their more recent songs are arguably more pop than punk, but this band have seen both huge commercial success and have been a Warped Tour favorite. Frontwoman Hayley Williams, or as John Mayer calls her, the Great Orange Hope, was initially signed as a pop solo artist, but she wanted to rock out with a full band behind her. Her label agreed, and it's paid off big time. The band have had 6 US top 40 singles, including 2007's Misery Business. Number 5, Sum 41. They used to occasionally throw in some rap with their sound as well, but Derek, Dave, Cone, and Steve ended up becoming one of the biggest pop-punk bands ever. With hits like Fat Lip, In Too Deep, and the Hell Song under their belt, these guys have spent a career making sure their musical output is all killer, no filler. Although longtime member Dave Batch left the band in 2007, the group continues to record new music.
I tried to be perfect, it just wasn't worth it. Nothing could ever be so wrong.
However, Derek hasn't looked too good these days health-wise following his divorce from Avril Lavigne.
I just thought it's just alcohol. It can't really harm me that much, but sure enough, it can.
Number 4, New Found Glory. This band's defining album is still 2002's Sticks and Stones, and they did a tour performing the whole album a while back, but these guys are still kicking with their new album Resurrection and a devoted cult following behind them. Songs like My Friend's Over You and All Downhill From Here are arguably their biggest anthems and became some of the biggest pop-punk songs of the early 2000s. Critics often consider them genre-defining, and we couldn't agree more. Number 3, Fall Out Boy.
She says she's no good with words, but I mean worse. But started out a joke of a romantic stuck to my tongue.
Like Paramore, these guys are also arguably more pop than punk nowadays, but whether you love them or hate them, their success continues to be huge considering it's been almost 10 years since they've released their debut album.
We're going down, around, and sugar, we're going down swinging. I'll be your number one with a bullet. A loaded gun complex, targeting bullet.
Most recently, the Chicago band have returned from a long hiatus with a huge single, Centuries, and has recorded 2 hit albums in the past 3 years.
Some legends are told, some turn to dust, some to gold, but you will remember me for centuries.
But it's their pop-punk roots that the band is known for, as they led the genre at the time when it was at its peak.
Dance, dance, we're falling apart to have time. Dance, dance, these are the lies you love to leave. It all keeps adding up. I think
Number 2, Green Day.
am I just paranoid? Am I just
Arguably the most polarizing band on this list, you can't say that they haven't earned the longevity and huge success.
21 guns, lay down your arms, give up the fight.
Billy Joe, Mike, and Trey first broke out in the mainstream in a massive way with 1994's Dookie, still a beloved album by pop punk and alternative rock fans today. 2004's American Idiot was just as big, creating only more success for the band and earning them an induction into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions.
Hearts on fire tonight. Feel my bones ignite. Feels like war. Never gonna hear the words you say, and I don't ever wanna be you. Swallowed in nightly tread, swiftly and lightly. Break off the lost ground and see what you don't see. I'm here to stay right where you
Number 1. Blink-182.
It's alright to tell me what you think about me.
Few bands scream pop punk the way Mark, Tom, and Travis still do to this day.
Turn the lights off, carry me on.
Whether their fans fell in love with them through Dude Ranch, Enema of the State, or any other hugely successful albums, they stayed a band people can't quite let go of. Their combination of crass humor, catchy pop-punk melodies, and rhythms have resulted in more than 35 million albums sold worldwide.
Friends say I should act my age. What's my age again? What's my age again?
Although recently lead singer Tom DeLonge has left the band, no other band has come close to having as big an impact on the genre as Blink.
And it'll happen once again. You'll turn to a friend, someone that understands.
Do you agree with our list? Who was your favorite pop-punk band of all time?
Don't waste your time on me. You're already the voice inside my head.
With new top 10s published daily, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.
Now go on.